Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 391. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, listeners and viewers. We were not talking shit on Giant Bomb just a second ago, I promise you. Didn't make the air. No, I was just talking about their God of War they just had on their latest podcast, so we were just talking about that. But anyways, welcome to 391 of the Gamecast. It is is a lot of gaming news this week. Came out, and did anybody get God of War? Corey, do you have it?
When Flipageddon happened, I apparently pre-ordered it, which I didn't realize. And they sent me a text saying, "Hey, your God of War will be ready to pick up on Friday."
Yeah, I did
some upselling.
I forgot.
The best part is I have like $200 in credit anyways right now because of the mini Flipageddon that just occurred, and plus the previous credit that I had. I got like $140 in Flipageddon mini Flipageddon credit, so I'm like I could go get God of War, no problem. So I think I'm going to go do that.
It's already paid for, so it's like, well, yeah, I guess I'll just keep it. But I don't know if I'm going to play it or not.
That was what happened with.
Right away.
With me with Ni no Kuni is like I do want to play Ni no Kuni, and I played 2.5 hours of that.
Yeah, you were asking before we started the podcast, and I thought when you were saying should I keep playing Ni no Kuni that you were like midway through the game. I was like, I just finished that.
So I didn't have time. I'm serious. Like I am preparing for a tournament that has 65,000 entrants in it, like for bowling. So it's like a lot of my time right now on the weekends is practicing and getting better, so I can go and not embarrass myself in July for this big tournament. So I know it sounds weird for those who are playing video games right now, but it's
tournament's in July.
Yeah, it's July.
You're practicing 3 months out.
I have to change the way I shoot I've always shot my spares because it doesn't work in a tournament. In a pro shot, it doesn't work. So I have to change the way I've learned to my entire life. No, I have a plastic ball, but my entire life I've shot my spares the one way I've always done it. So I need to change it, and it's going to take.
What is this way? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Hey, I mean, some people
are you throwing a straight or
no? He's an athlete, guys. He's an athlete. He's training for his competition.
Exactly.
I'm not taking that away. I'm just.
So in my spares across the lane. So for me, if you guys understand bowling, there's pins, right? So the 7 pin is on the left side.
What's a pin?
So you go across.
I hook the lane to make my 10 pins. So I take my ball and I throw it on the one board and I let it come all the way across the lane and hit the 10 pin. It does it every time. I don't miss them. Like I have an app that tracks my spares. I've never missed the right side of that lane for me is perfect, but I can't do that in a tournament. That tournament.
Wow. Why not?
Because it doesnn't come.
The way they oil it.
Yeah, it doesn't. It will
doesn't
not
catch at the end.
It won't make it, or it'll actually overhook and go to the gutter.
I know what he's talking about.
So
I'm not that good, but I know what he's talking about.
I can get.
I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm just so confused.
Because in a typical bowling alley, they guide your ball to the middle of the lane. It's the way the oil is put down in the lane. It's to help you bowl better in a regular house. But in a pro shot, there's no help. So it's where you throw the ball is where it goes. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. There's an they change the oil.
That pisses me off actually because
it makes you feel weird, right? You're like, I'm getting help.
Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck easy mode.
The oil is naturally more towards the middle and dry on the end, so that everything kind of goes down the lane and forces you towards the head pin. So you can screw up really badly and still get a strike. That's how you see that. But you can't really do that if you look at pros do it on TV. They don't do that. They screw up, they get a split. So that's the big difference. But sorry, this is a Gamescast. Let's go back to the games.
It's bowling is a game.
It's true. No, but so that's
it's a sport.
Anyways, back to the story.
Somewhere in between.
Back to the story.
Sport is just a game. Football is a game. Baseball is a game.
Oh, I'll be out of town, by the way, for that podcast. So just so you all know,
that around 400?
That is right around 400. Yes, it's the week after, I believe. So, but yeah, I will. Anyways, I played 2.5 hours of Ni no Kuni 2, which I like. I like the combat system.
Yeah, play God of War. I mean,
thank you.
With what we are hearing about this game and the reaction to it is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I don't think anybody
confused by what we're hearing though.
It's amazing. What I just heard from Jeff? Is it Jeff from Giant Bomb, the guy that has the massive opinions that gets that can rub people the wrong way?
Yeah, Tony hates him.
Yeah. Okay, so no, he starts out saying he hated the way that game started with the combat and everything like that, and he's and then all of a sudden the game just opened up, and he's it's fantastic. It's absolutely amazing game. He loves it.
I think he had 29 perfect scores or something.
Yeah, it's really. I mean, that's what I hear. I keep hearing it's very impressive game. So I'm gonna go pick it up.
Highest rated game this year.
Yeah, I'm getting
it's strange because it's one of those games where it gets these really high scores, but it seems hard for them to convey why.
Well, because I think a lot of it has to do with spoilers.
Like, the thing is like,
so it's all story.
They said,
partly.
The comments that I've heard from people is like they've read reviews, you've seen the videos, you heard the great scores, but it doesn't prepare you for what this game is really. It's nothing like you're thinking. Like it's like that. I mean, impressive for a God of War game.
I think impressed a lot of people the most, and obviously this is all just opinions from us because we're just taking it from what people are saying. We haven't played it yet, but based on the fact that we know what this character was, and everyone's saying this character is completely different and is an actual character you can get attached to and feel for and has emotion. Where the other games he had one emotion.
All I know from the other games is
it's going to be so hard for me to get out of that because
that's what I mean.
I just can't break away from that because.
But
you play as the villain. God of War is a series where you play as the villain. He is not the hero in the story. You are straight up the villain. Yeah. And it's like, hey, I kind of poked fun at it when they first unveiled it. It's like, oh, hey, we're going to give him a beard and a son. That way he's relatable to all these gamers that grew up and might have families of their own. And we're going to make you feel for him.
Apparently the way he treats his son is pretty hilarious. Like, he's the one that can read the stuff, so it's like every time, and he never addresses him, hardly ever addresses him by name. It's always, boy, read this. Yeah. That's how he talks to him in the game. So it's like, oh, that's okay.
All the more reason that all these people are going to be able to relate. Like, oh, my dad just called me boy and abused me too. Like, okay.
So I don't know. It's just supposed to be a very impressive game. So
yeah, I'm gonna get it because
is this the first God of War you're gonna be playing, Tony, or have you played
mine?
No, I played the first one. Played part of the second one, and I watched somebody play part of the third one.
Was the first one remastered on PlayStation 3?
No. Yeah. It was the third one.
Well, there was a port.
Oh.
It was I think they took the...
I was playing God of War 3 then.
2 remaster, PlayStation... Oh, I'm sorry. PlayStation 2 or 3. PlayStation 3 did have a...
Okay, that's when I played.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about PlayStation 4.
Just very little.
3 is on PlayStation 4 as a full remaster.
Okay. No, I'm talking
1
about
is on PlayStation 3.
Okay, that's when I played it. So I never really got far in the game though. It just never for me. It's just not. No. It's not interesting.
It's not, but these reviews it's very high praise. I'm like, well, I got to check it out just to see.
There's one reviewer saying this is rivaling, is up there with his favorite game of all time now.
Wow, jeez, that's impressive to hear. So,
it's a big word, and I'm excited. I heard everything I have seen looks good. It's just, I still can't get past I just wish it were not like Kratos from God of War. I wish it was hey, God of War with new guys.
That's the thing. So maybe because it is Kratos, it's it changes makes it even more impactful.
No matter what happens in this game, I'm just I don't feel bad for you.
He has no personality.
I just can't.
He murdered.
They changed their mind, or hopefully they connect with you some way. Maybe you can relate by being one of the ogres. I don't know.
I don't know. So we'll see. But I heard the combat system is okay in the beginning, but after 4 hours, the whole thing just kind of, it even tells you it's opening up and saying here you go after that point. But the combat trees, the leveling up and everything is not. It's there and it's a perfect amount. It's not overbearing and it's not too little. That's what I've heard. This is what makes the game so much more fun because of the way you can level up your character, and it keeps it interesting.
So. Yeah, everything. It's just. It's it seems like if you own a PlayStation, you have to play this game.
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
And
Easy Allies, I really like those guys. The one reviewer there is saying every human being has to play this game. That's what he was saying. So
yeah, I got it. I'll get it and I'll play it a little bit on Saturday.
Yeah, it's based off of what people are saying. It's one of those things that you gotta experience. You gotta see what it's all about. Cool. Even if you're not a fan like you, Tony. I'm not surprised. You gotta They're saying this is a landmark title for a generation. It's the highest. I think it's the highest rated first-party Sony game, right? Ever? I think it's second highest. What's the first? Uncharted 2, maybe? I know there was a game. I know it wasn't the highest the last time I checked. I'll do the lookup. You guys keep going.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get into some actual game news here, and then so I'm going to kick it off with. We've talked so much about Battle Royale. Let's just kick it off with the Battle Royale clones.
Battle Royale!
Yeah, I mean...
You get a Battle Royale, and you get a Battle Royale. Everybody gets a Battle Royale.
It's going to be everywhere. Now, we found out that Black Ops 4 this week is not going to have a single-player game, but
hold on, sorry. This is a strong rumor. Multiple places have confirmed the rumor. So it hasn't been announced, but yes, Jason Schreier has pretty much confirmed this. So we could say it confidently, but it's not out there just yet.
Yeah.
But yes, go on.
So that's going to be out with no single player and apparently, of course, a Battle Royale mode. And then we also hear about...
Once PUBG became as popular as it was, I think there was no doubt in any of our minds that Battle Royale is going to be
I even said this last year. I said it.
I think we... I know. I think we were all talking about it last year.
We're all expecting incoming clones like crazy. So here's the other news from it.
And again, it wasn't even the clones. It's just like, it's a mode. It's so easy to throw in there.
Yeah, so like...
Apparently, Radical Heights has been in development for 5 months.
Yeah, and they got that together. I mean, it's very crude, but it's there and it works. I mean...
We shat on it all last week, but...
Fucking Cliffy B. We got to talk about Cliffy B after this. Go on, though.
Okay. Well, I was going to say Battlefield 5 just talked about it now, too. There's apparently a Battle Royale prototype in the works at DICE for that one. So we're going to get these clones that aren't coming out until the fall, these games, right? These are all, like, October games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, is it going to be dead by then? I mean, that's why, Tony, when you guaranteed, like, an Anthem Battle Royale, I don't think so, because it's not coming out this year. You know what I mean? Like, I think that mode will be dead by then.
No, I don't think so. You look at the MOBA. MOBA lasted years.
That's true.
MOBA lasted for years. But even the MMO craze lasted for years.
But only a few like MOBAs. The other ones didn't make it.
But there was still a ton that came out, dude.
That's true. So they're just going to be thrown on the wall and see if it sticks kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Until the next big thing comes along.
So Radical Heights...
Because if you think about it, this time last year is when PUBG first came out.
Yes.
And you look, 18 months later, now we're starting to see all these things.
PUBG apparently released 2 new modes or something like that. They have maps and stuff. They have a whole bunch of layouts now with modes coming in, and like they're really doing a lot of work.
Well, there's 2 new maps, but I don't know, Tony can speak to it more, but they don't seem to be...
I heard that there were 2 new modes.
They're baiting the smaller map, the 4x4 map. It's in testing.
Oh, just so you know, Last of Us Remastered for PS4 is tied with God of War.
Oh, okay. Last of Us Remastered got that high score. Okay. Not the original.
This is for PS4 only.
Tony, what did you want to rant real quick about Cliffy B?
Oh, so Cliffy B, being Cliffy B, was taking to Twitter and accusing Epic of trying to poach his employees.
I saw that. Yeah.
He's like, hey, it's not cool. There's more than blah, blah, blah. And it's like, stop trying to poach my employees. Because literally the studios are right next to each other.
Yeah.
And... like, not only are they right next to each other, but I think they're out in like fucking North Carolina or something. They're not in like they're not in like San Francisco. They're not where there's Los Angeles. They're not in Austin. Right. They're not in Redmond.
Yeah.
They're not in the hot spots for video game development. It's fucking North Carolina or some shit like that.
So there's a lot of what do you call that?
Or West Virginia, some fucking state there. So it's like, okay, it's like Cliffy, your last game spectacularly failed. Like, that was the only thing it did well at, was failing.
I still remember when we went down to 4 players. 4 concurrent players.
4 concurrent
Did you see the Kazur parody on Twitter?
that was great.
Yes.
But, it's like, well, Cliffy, can you really blame a human being for going, I could stay here and try to do on this other cash cow, copy project, or I can go get a job at Epic, who's making money hand over fist with Fortnite.
Yeah, and probably working on something new in the works after that right now.
This is a close one. I don't know what the right decision is, though. Maybe the company that is probably going to be...
bills, or they pay my bills.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with the people that pay my bills.
I think that... I saw that rant.
I do think that Radical Heights has going for it is the progression system, and I think that's what the next evolution of Battle Royale is going to be, a progression system. So that's the only thing I think that could save this game, but you need to have like a progression system, because if people aren't winning, they want to be able to feel like they're accomplishing something, and like with Fortnite, they do that pretty well with their season pass thing.
Well, Radical Heights its hook is that ATM thing where you can take money out of the game and use it right when you start the next game. Well, the hook
is every kill gets you money.
Yeah, and then you can use the ATM, but isn't it like a mad dash ATM to roll over? It doesn't stay with you.
All the money rolls over. You keep all the money you get.
All right, but you can use the money to have stuff in the next game. Then.
Okay,
right. You start with that stuff in the beginning of the
round. I thought you had to I thought you had to make it to an ATM and like deposit it, or you don't keep that money, which I think would be cooler. I think that would be a cooler part of it. Oh, it is. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
Well, but it's still like it's on your character, so like your character, once that match is over, you'll have it for the next game.
Oh, okay.
And it's more of like a game showy type of Smash TV kind of stuff.
I heard the bike part is the most fun part, and that's the part that's in the lobby, not the game. Like you can ride on bikes in the lobby, but not the game. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll see. So yeah, we're gonna get a lot of clones from this. Battlefront clone.
That would probably be the only way to save Battlefront at this point.
I really don't see it. I think that game is too loadout based.
I gotta say, Mike, we got the EA boss regretting loot box disaster now, at least.
Of course he's regretting it. What's he gonna say? He's like, nah, I'll do it again.
No, he said he promises that they have learned their lesson and changed their loot box tactics for future games. I love how we're not getting rid of loot boxes. We're changing the way we do it. So it's
not the loot boxes.
It's gonna be cosmetics. It's gonna be cosmetic.
Boxes.
Yeah.
I mean, it is now already.
Boxes.
Yeah, and that's fine with I'm fine with cosmetic loot boxes. If you want to pay $5 to get a bunch of loot boxes, see if you get a skin or something like that, go for it. As long as you can earn it in the game at some point, that's fine. So, but but we're gonna get so. Anyways, are we good with the battle royale stuff? I mean, covered that to death already, I think. So
I don't know. So I mean, are you guys still Anthem? Jim, you don't think there's gonna be an Anthem?
That's why I don't think it's gonna be an Anthem. I just don't see it because I think that the craze will die down by the time that game comes out.
Again, it's sort of weird to think about things where, you customize your loadout so much, and then you go to a battle royale where a big aspect of the game is just finding stuff to pick up. So I don't know how that's going to work.
If in Anthem, I think if they did it, they would do it in a different game, and maybe use Anthem's universe. But I don't think it's going to be. If you buy Anthem, I don't think you get a battle royale mode in Anthem, just because of the type of game it is. Destiny's not going to do a battle royale mode.
What kind of game is Anthem? We haven't even seen official gameplay yet.
It's a game that we've never seen before, according to Casey Hudson.
There might be some tacked on crappy version where you don't pick up weapons, you just have your loadout and you still go battle royale.
I don't know.
The circles narrowing.
Here's the problem with this.
I want to believe that they won't. That's more of what it is. It's I want to believe that.
Why would you believe such a thing?
They want to make this game the best it is and not.
I mean, if they just tack on a mode, whatever.
That's what it is. I mean, that's what battle royale is. It's the mode.
Yeah, it's tacked on mode. Yeah.
I mean, because here's the thing, Anthem, and I think we agreed upon it last year when they shut it off at E3. They're chasing that Destiny money.
Yes.
Right.
That's
Destiny failed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, in my opinion, failed this most recent iteration because it came out in that 1 month, sold a shit ton based on just hype and
here's
and
the thing,
and based on what they built.
Here's the thing, but that's the thing. I think that genre that where that Destiny falls into, I think there's a ripe player base waiting for the content to be in a game that keeps them involved, and I think that Bungie screwed that up again, and now it's just a dead world because they've done it twice.
Right.
So I think you can still make something though. I think you can still do something properly and make the content there. If the content's, I'm not saying it's going to be Anthem. I'm saying somebody can do it and do it right. It'll be fine.
Sure. But I mean, if I'm going to bet, I'm going to bet on Gearbox and Borderlands 3 being that.
Okay.
Co-op experience with
there it is. Yeah, there it is. I think that's the one that could do it properly. Yeah.
I don't think Anthem's.
Who knows if it's going to be done properly, but they've already have an established.
They have experience with it, right?
Yeah, and then they have fan base for this game already. Nobody knows Anthem.
I don't even know.
Because honestly, if the comparisons come out hey, Anthem is EA/BioWare's take on Destiny.
Yeah.
Does that excite people right now?
They don't want that tie-in. They don't. I don't think they want
They don't want that comparison.
So here's the thing.
That's just my opinion.
There's two things here. Casey Hudson coming out and talking about.
I thought he left again. Didn't he leave again?
No.
Someone else did.
Somebody else did.
Oh, somebody.
Did he announce Mass Effect Battle Royale?
No, but this game, Anthem, he's talking about, this is an exact quote, will be unlike anything you've played, but if we do it right, it will feel very distinctly BioWare. Here's the problem with Casey Hudson. I like the guy.
He's a liar.
Yes, but I know he has lied. So it's like, this does not excite me. It doesn't.
Nope.
Well, he didn't say anything with any.
Well, is it the
actual
Peter
content.
Molyneux lies or is it the Randy Pitchford lies?
No, this is a politician lie because he
this is-
doesn't say anything. It's like, oh, it'll be unlike anything you've ever seen before. That's
Right, so that's a Peter Molyneux thing. But in the past, he has straight up just done Randy Pitchford thing where, oh yeah, the ending to Mass Effect 3 isn't going to be something like, A, B, or C.
Yeah.
Really? Because
Red, green, and
It's
blue.
going to be meaningful choices there.
Red, green, and
colors, not letters. Colors.
Yeah.
blue. Yeah, that's the problem that I have. Like I said, I enjoyed Mass Effect 1 and 2 so great. So I do have a little bit of a hope that they do something great with Anthem. But then there's for me, it was the ending of Mass Effect 3 that just gutted me, and then Andromeda was a disaster. And
Well, just think about it. What is going to be the monetary hook for Anthem?
there we go. We don't know. I mean, we got to. Hopefully, at E3 we get something concrete.
EA just fucked it up real bad with their loot crate
Cosmetic
situation.
loot boxes, I guess.
I'm hoping that we get something concrete at E3 because it's coming up quick. By the way,
Telling
E3
you,
is coming
man.
up quick. But
Yep. Battle Royale. Anthem Battle Royale. There will be a Battle Royale mode.
yeah, I mean,
Or at least some large scale,
here's the projections for the loot boxes. Spending will hit $50 billion for loot boxes in the next 4 years. That's a study coming out. So we're going to get loot boxes still, obviously, lots of them. But will it just stay cosmetic still? I mean, Anthem as well. I mean, what are you going to do in Anthem? Like, Sea of
I
Thieves.
think that they've shown that you have to do it right, otherwise the backlash will just destroy you. And
Yeah.
a lot of companies that are not EA are just going to fold because of that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like you can't take that bad press.
For the most part, all the popular games are doing it well. Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League. They're all doing good. It was just Battlefront 2 that EA got too fucking greedy. And no, I'm sorry, Microsoft fucked up a little bit with the Forza stuff, right?
Yes,
I remember there was some
they
controversy
gutted
over that.
they gutted their game from before they release. How do you can't release a sequel with less content than the game before it, and put that content into loot boxes? You can't do that.
You can't do that.
So
And truthfully,
Yeah,
a
guys,
lot of
I'll be
the
right back.
sports games have been pretty bad too.
that's fine. Corey, go ahead. Yeah, so I don't know. I think that there's going to be loot boxes everywhere. It's a way to monetize games to make them extra money on the side so that we can get these more expensive games that I want to play. Like, let's take God of War, for instance. I'm not saying that game is amazing because I haven't played it yet, but these single-player experiences that I want to play wouldn't be able to exist without these other multiplayer experience games that are making the studios money.
Yep. And I'm glad you brought that up, because this is another good thing. I mean, you're the one that wants these single player
I do, yeah.
experiences, and this is a game that is AAA, no monetization, no create bullshit, no multiplayer, forced multiplayer
That's
mode.
true.
Are you voting with your wallet?
I'm picking it up. Yes, I'm going
Just
to buy
making
it.
sure.
I'm voting. Actually, I'm voting with GameStop's wallet, but
That's fine. That's fine.
yeah. Let's see what else we have. Ubisoft. E3 is coming up, so Ubisoft is Ubisoft's created AI is teasing that Watch Dogs 3 is coming soon, which we expect. But Watch Dogs 3, but so they basically AI known as Sam to help its gaming fans out, and apparently the chat box confirmed that Watch Dogs 3 is not finished yet from the helper from the AI bot. So, anyways, I'm expecting that anyways because Ubisoft needs that big game for this year, and they're not going to do. They like to cycle them in and out. It's Watch Dogs' turn. So, Mike, you played the first ones of those, right?
I've played only the first one. I didn't get the second one.
We'll see what they want to do with it.
It was all right.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we also have Bethesda rumor that they're going to announce Starfield releasing this fall at E3. This is a rumor, of course, as well. This is their Fallout in space game.
That sounds interesting, I guess.
Yeah. If it uses the same engine, I can't see any reason why this game's not out in fall as well. So
I thought you were going to say I can't see any reason why
It gets
this won't be a buggy mess.
it will be, and it also will be a buggy mess, Mike. We both know that.
Will it have
that
a
goes
battle
without-
royale mode?
Yes, of course, absolutely, with the battle royale mode.
Again, I don't know about these games where you
Well,
customize your character.
the last Fallout game had a Minecraft mode. The fuck was that all about?
I truly think that. Actually, Tony, I agree. I think that game will have a Battle Royale mode because that's coming out at the prime of it, so I think it will. What else do we have here on news? I'm kind of jumping around, so it's... Welcome back, Corey. Welcome back. We have Spider-Man, the Spider-Man game coming out on PS4. Not really news to anybody else here that it's heavily inspired by the Batman games in terms of its combat style.
That was instant by the very first video.
Yeah, not a big shock there.
Mike, weren't you like, I don't see the similarities because we're like, but you're like sneaking around and you're crawling up and whatnot.
I don't think I said that.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't think it's exactly the same. But
I mean, you have a franchise that's hugely successful and has a great combat system. People are going to copy it.
Yeah.
But when you see all the spider gadgets, I'm like, oh, okay.
Actually, if you remember, Mike, remember the Spider-Man games that were the one game that was good in the last generation? The one that I played it today. I played the hardest mode on that and played through the whole game. It had the stealth Spider-Man. The
Web of Shadows?
Yeah, it wasn't the sequel though. It was the first one. It was the first
Shattered Dimensions.
Shattered Dimensions. Yeah, the sequel was bad, but the first game was very good. It was, and the combat was very much like Batman. It was very much like Batman, exactly like Batman, actually.
For the one guy, it was like the stealth section, sort of.
Yeah.
Still wasn't really.
No, you would jump around. You would jump and
you
would flop. Fight between groups of a mob of people around you, and you'd bounce around like Batman would.
Yeah, I remember one of the old, like the first or second Spider-Man games. One of the first times I've really played with a lot of stealth, where you had to be in the shadows, like in an indoor environment, and you had like a little meter that showed how visible you were. So Spider-Man's not new to stealth in games, but it'll be interesting. It's definitely you definitely can see the two sort of different types of gameplay similar to Batman in these previews.
Yeah. And lastly, we're gonna close our news out on a podcast. And I think this might be record setting here. We're gonna actually close the news portion of our podcast out with Sega news.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say GTA, just because. I
don't mention GTA.
GTA is the highest grossing media outlet or media property ever.
Nope.
$6 billion.
Nope. I reject your reality.
I substitute my own.
All right, let's go, Sega.
All right, so we got Sega news.
See what you got.
The good news for me and you and everybody that hasn't played it, I have played these games, but Shenmue 1 and 2 are coming. They're coming to Xbox One, PS4, and PC this year. Are they getting remastered? Or are they just getting re-released?
I would hope so.
I hope they get
a little bit. Like, I thought it was just a little bump, something.
Yeah. Well, the first one could use it. The second one was fine.
Up-res that shit.
Yeah. Man, I'm psyched for it's a good way to keep the interest because Shenmue 3 is obviously taking a lot longer. And not that I expected. I expected that game to take forever. So, but it's good news, and it's going to be $29.99 retail, which is good as well. So,
I'll definitely get that unless I try to wait for it to be like a PlayStation Plus thing. I'm not sure. You think that might happen?
Yeah,
I don't think so. Not for a while. Yeah.
I mean, I would see 3 coming out before it happens, and who knows when 3's coming out.
It'll be 2019 for 3, no, without a doubt. 2019. Oh no, we're in 2018, aren't we? Maybe the end of 2019. It'll probably early 2020.
It's $30, Mike.
Yeah,
it's $30.
Yeah,
I know.
Some pretty lengthy games.
For 2 games, they're lengthy. Yeah. Well, the second one's not that long. The first one's beefy.
I don't know. Those types of things though do end up on the PlayStation Plus thing.
Sure.
I just don't want to get it and then 4 months later be like, oh, you could have gotten it for free.
Yeah, it's not going to be 4 months. It's going to be at least a year or more.
Yeah, it'll probably be right before 3 comes out. Right. Maybe they'll do it just before 3 comes out as a promo. But all right.
I don't know.
We'll see. The Sega Genesis Mini got announced. I almost missed that news actually. So we're getting like a.
Because we don't already have one out, so let's do another one.
This is being done by Sega more properly, or is it still by that?
No, it's done by the same company they've been doing for however long, Games or whatever.
What does this do for us?
I think it's just smaller.
It's smaller.
Marketing. Does it not actually play cartridges like the old ones did?
I would assume
more like that.
Yeah,
no, it's
more
like
that.
The cartridges don't fit.
I bet it's Flash.
Just copying the Nintendo.
I mean, the old one was this big, but you could still plug a cartridge into it. I don't know. It's dumb.
That's really stupid. And we're getting classic Sega games coming to Nintendo Switch. That was announced. What games are we getting?
Sega Ages.
And Phantasy Star?
Probably.
I think we're getting Phantasy Star as well, if I remember right.
They'd released a bunch of them on the 3DS over the years, and were successful. They even released, like, I think a collection or two.
Yeah, I mean, but I think Corey, we're getting, Corey, you
There's only
brought
a
up
few games I'm really excited for, and they're not Genesis games.
No, I know. But you said, like,
that's the thing. Is,
but
like,
the chance is there.
I'm just like, like, out of all the Sega systems, like, this is not even my handways, but, like, the Genesis just did not have good Sega games other than, like, the Sonics. But you could get those on any platform.
I mean, all the good Sega games you can get pretty readily anywhere right now. And it's fun. They're fine.
You're not interested in playing Altered Beast in Columns?
No, I mean,
that's the only two games
I'm more interested in is, like, the system that nobody had, which was the Sega Saturn.
I would like the Saturn games. Yeah, I would like those
people
games.
Didn't play those games.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And then the Dreamcast, of course, would be nice because there's a couple of good games on there.
There's some great games on the Dreamcast. There's some great games on the Saturn, but yeah, like you said, nobody played them. So, we lost Mike. I think.
But yeah, I mean, working design games, those RPGs, Dragon Force.
There's no way they would ever be. Well, I won't say never, but I mean, Square did let Final Fantasy 2 or 4 or whatever, or 6 on the classic. So it's totally
Sega published Dragon Force.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
So
it's possible.
I don't know. It's the one game I'm like, if they bring this stuff back, that I would buy on the Switch.
It's instant purchase, and not just that, I'd buy it anywhere it got re-released. So.
Nope. And it would just be perfect on the Switch, though.
It would be.
They didn't even have to change anything because it's all like 2D sprites.
Yep, it would be perfect for it. So, all right, let's. Yeah, we're talking about Sega re-releasing games still, but okay, let's get into what we've been up to, guys. Like I said, I don't have much to add for this one, so Mike, kick us off.
Okay. I've been playing kind of the same. I've been rotating between Rocket League and Injustice and Battlefront. Battlefront had its updates, and now we do have the cosmetic loot crates.
There it is.
Wait,
can you get a pink Darth Vader?
No. Can't. He doesn't have any alternate appearances. That's what they're called. You can also use in-game currency, which I like, even though some of the rarer ones are like prohibitively expensive still. But so you get like Yoda wearing a hood. You can do. For each infantry person, there's like a bunch of different races or genders, although not for.
Did they get the stormtroopers from Solo, like all those like gray ones? Can you get
There's
those?
A bunch of different types of helmets. It looks like. I don't think those were there, but it might show up.
You have a movie coming out in a month.
They don't.
Tie that shit in.
They don't believe in this movie. But yeah, there's a few in there, and I'm sure there'll be more. There's also this new limited event mode, which is kind of silly. It's like Ewok Hunt. So the way it works is you're either stormtroopers on Endor with only a blaster and a flashlight and it's dark, or you're the Ewoks who have like these 3 abilities. They can throw like scatter firefly bombs, they can throw like a certain spear, or they can like buff themselves, and they can do a senses thing so they can see you real easy. So basically, the Ewoks hunt the stormtroopers who have flashlights, and they try to like survive for 5 minutes or kill all the stormtroopers. And when you get killed as a stormtrooper, you become an Ewok and try to kill the rest.
Okay.
It's silly. It's mildly fun, but it's an interesting little thing they threw in there.
Why can't you think they can't do a Battle Royale mode?
Oh, that's prepping. It's prepping, Tony, right there. That's what that's doing.
I mean, I don't think...
This is step one.
Yeah.
Because a lot of their the crates and the progression is tied to like all these loadouts. So, I mean, you could do a Battle Royale mode, but you would have to sort of alter how your stuff is.
It doesn't matter.
It'll be there by August.
You don't, this game is prime for it.
Yeah,
it
would be interesting to like see the narrative justification for like.
It doesn't need to be one.
Nobody needs a narrative.
No. They would.
You could do like stormtrooper training. Let's see who actually survives some shit.
They could actually, within the narrative of the game, there's like these like climate destroying lasers that hit planets. So that kind of makes sense actually with that narrative. So there you go.
I think E3 announcement for this one.
for Battlefront.
If EA doesn't announce a Battle Royale mode for every game.
Perfect game.
Battlefront Royale.
It's the one game I think I see EA putting a Battle Royale mode in, because with Battlefield, you're talking about World War II now. Like, how are they gonna? I guess the guns is just not as exciting to me for a Battle Royale. I want to like be able to get rocket launchers and stuff like that. I don't know. I just don't know the guns. I'm sure they'll work it out.
Because that's the thing at this point. Anybody coming into this market has to be doing something better than Fortnite and or PUBG. So if you're a serious like military like simulation, you have to be better than PUBG in every single regard.
Yeah.
Out of all the shooters, like Call of Duty is the only one that I would
have a chance with.
Be confident that it says Battlefield maybe. On the other side, you got to be better. If you're not doing that, then you got to outdo Fortnite and what they're doing, and just like the zany, over the top, like cartoony, like whatnot. So you got to have a catch. You got to have a gimmick.
Heights is trying to go for.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have a gimmick.
Yeah,
Battlefront could have a gimmick.
I really think the gimmick is the progression system. Like, that's what has that. That's what people are going to come back for. I think more than anything else, with the progression systems.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're not winning, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think so.
99 people are losing, so like they want to feel like they're accomplishing something, right?
Yeah, you got to be still getting better.
And you got
still getting better.
To get that loot crate. Feel like you're earning something.
Yep. All right, Corey.
Points for every place here. And all right, so I've been playing a lot of Xenoblade
Nice.
Chronicles.
Wow, really? You got into it, huh?
Yeah. No, I mean I talked about last week, and I don't know, maybe I was 20 hours in last week.
Wow.
I'm over 30 now.
Damn.
Like, it's just so easy on the Switch. Like the format of that system allows me to be able to play my games on that, where I can't sit down in front of my TV and PlayStation or Xbox as much as I used to be able to, just with having to be with my kids and stuff. So this has allowed me to like be in the same room with my kids while they're sleeping, and I have my headphones on. I can just like, it's not bright or anything, so I can just like play that as much as I want. And so I usually get a few, like it's been a week and I've got a few hours in each day.
Cool.
And yeah, I really enjoy the combat system in that game, and I love that it's still you're unlocking and learning new things 30 hours into it. I think that's really neat, where like a lot of games you basically know like everything you need to know about that combat system.
Well, that's the positive for
early.
that. I mean, like you said, like once you find sometimes in games when you find that combo, like that's all you do the rest of the game. So
you get kind of stuck into that. You're like, oh, I never need to do anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do like that there's new things that I'm learning that they're still teaching you, and there's still tutorial things popping up. It's like
the story's good. Like you like.
Yeah, I think the story is pretty good. I don't.
It needs to hook me. It just hasn't. It never hooked me. So it's just like.
No, I mean
for me that's what carries me.
Every game is for every person.
But I don't mind the combat. It's just more the story didn't hook me, and I'm like, what am I? What am I playing this for?
I find the characters.
Corey's talking, Jim. Corey is talking.
I'm trying to have him convince me to play this game again.
Well, I mean, for me, I like the characters. I think the characters are really good. Obviously, Rex's voice is probably the worst, but I actually play on English because I like the interactions between the characters, and I do like the other actors. I think they do a really good job. And it just Rex sometimes just gets annoying, his actions sometimes like, what are you thinking, man? And then I like that the characters call him out on it too. It's like, dude, you're an idiot.
Yeah, and that's the thing I really appreciate the game, because you have these other RPGs where it's cliche, where like the main character does something dumb, and everybody's like, they're there, like insert generic name, like it's okay, like we're power of friendship, we're gonna do this, man. Everything's gonna be all right. I believe in you. They're like, dude, why the fuck did you do that? Like you're a dumbass. Like you had your chance and you just like fucked it up. But no, that's the thing is like, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but Rex is a very believable character because he's not like a Gary Stu. He's not perfect at everything. In fact, he fucks up a lot, and he beats himself up over it a lot, where it's like, I could see that being kind of turn off, because like, if you're used to somebody like, like Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy, or struggling to think of another one off the top of my head, it's just like, yeah, it's not the same, because he's literally like a teenager, so.
Yeah. No, and like I like the lighter tone as well. It's not super serious, but there are serious parts to it that they tie into it, and there's still a mystery going on that I'm curious to find out how it all wraps up.
What chapter are you in?
Towards
Still
the
through?
end of 4, I think.
Oh.
I just got to Rosa. Just throwing that out there.
Yes. Yes.
So that's where I'm at. I spent a lot of time salvaging. I think salvaging is kind of fun, just to like it's mindless, but like it's interesting. And I got a couple orbs from it. Like, well, I got one specific orb, like a lucky orb. So I'm waiting. I don't know what that does yet. And I got a beastly orb. I don't know what it does yet. So I'm kind of like waiting on those. Just to.
I think those are. I think there's one you can't use just yet. Like if it's grayed out, it's going to be like a story related thing that'll activate. The game will tell you like, hey, you can activate this now.
Gotcha.
But yeah, salvaging is fun. You definitely should.
I mean, money is like not a problem. They are very like generous with the money. So I'm never short on money for anything.
Are you doing any of the colony development though?
Yeah, well, I'm 4 stars in one city, 3 in another, 2 in one, and like, well, because the salvaging, just like you just shoot up with the when you salvage and sell and do the transferring thing.
Yep.
I almost like every other time I got a star. I was like,
nice.
So I would buy because at this chapter I went to like the main city, which is Mordane, yeah, something like that, and then you could buy gold cylinders, and those gold cylinders you just make out like a bandit on those. So
yeah.
Pretty cool. So I'm finding there's a lot of things to do, and I do enjoy all the side stuff, but I am trying to like mainline the story a little bit. But when I was salvaging, I was just like leveling up like crazy because almost every time this like a huge monster would come out. I'm like, oh my gosh! So I'd be facing like 2 or 3 levels higher than me. And like I was finding I was leveling up like crazy. So I'm actually a little over leveled right now, I think, just because I was salvaging so much. Because like you actually open up this merc thing, which you send people out to do things, and I had to do one to freaking. It's like they make you wait 30 minutes automatically for this main quest part, and so I was like, well, I'll just salvage for 30 minutes.
Guess I'll salvage then.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I really wish Persona 5 was on the Switch so I could actually beat that game.
I wish that it was too, so I can replay that game. I have not maxed it out, and I would always like I have to replay it twice. Obviously, it was on Switch, and I would do it. So,
I did play more Overwatch as well.
That's cool.
Throw it out there because it's one of those games. Just you can play it. It's just jump in. For me, I just jump in right into competitive, whatever.
Did you try the new mode, Retribution?
It's grayed out in competitive.
Hmm?
Oh, the new mode? I did not try the new mode. I was trying to do my competitive placement.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Because there's like 9 days left, I think. Oh, in this podcast we're recording, so it's probably like 8 or 7 days left.
Yeah. Rocket League is like that for me. So
yeah. You can just jump right into it.
Jump in there.
Yeah, cool.
I almost bought Rocket League on Switch, but then I was like, I already have this game. What am I doing?
I think I have it twice, but all right, Tony.
Still juggling primarily Overwatch, a little bit of PUBG. I'm kind of bored of PUBG because they just need to release more content and stuff to do because it's just
different things. Yeah. The interesting thing though with Fortnite, I just want to throw this out there before you get going there, Tony. There's just been this like comet in the sky in Fortnite.
Yeah, I've been hearing about this.
And apparently they're
ARG
towers, which is like an area in the map out of the game because there's been a lot of not necessarily complaints, but basically it's lightning mode when you go to Tilted Towers. You basically die immediately if you go there. So the rumor is that this comet in the sky is going to destroy Tilted Towers. Because they already said that Tilted Towers is coming out of the game at some point.
Oh, cool.
But now that this just popped up suddenly, and if you look at it, your controller shakes. So it's pretty neat. It's like lore.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, Tony?
But actually, something I got back into was Pokemon Go.
Oh,
so
what?
Yeah,
you can talk to Apple about that because he's always on that shit.
Well, so the thing is, like, I'm pretty sure just because it was when, like, I've always seen people at my office play it, but like because it's starting to be spring, weather's warming up, like there's so many people playing Pokemon Go now. I'm just like, man, okay, like what's going on here? And like the game has advanced so much since I played initially 2 years ago. They're like, we're gonna do a raid. I'm like, what the fuck is a raid? They're like, like a raid boss.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, I know what a raid boss is, but is that the same thing? They're like, yeah, you take on a giant Pokemon, multiple people. I'm like, okay. I was like, well, they're like, here, just, and like, because the thing is, you can, somebody else just gave me their like an extra phone or whatever. I'm just like, okay, and that's how you get some of the legendaries, is you have to take them down as a raid. So you have to actually partner up with other people in real life to take down like a mega legendary Pokemon. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And then people were telling me all the other like quality of life updates, all the new content updates. And
so wait, there's
like
combat in this game now?
Yeah, I mean, it's not deep. It's not like the Pokemon games. It's still like tap, 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 fill up your super meter, release the super meter.
Oh, okay.
But it's so they're 3 gens in, I think, maybe even 4. So there's a lot more depth in terms of like Pokemon and whatnot. But so much has changed about the game, and I'm just like asking about it, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll give this a try, because literally so many people in my office play it. We even have a Discord channel set up for our work just to talk. They're like, people will be like, hey, there's a legendary popping in, because our workplace actually has 1 gym and 1 Pokestop. So
it's convenient.
Yeah, exactly. We got this thing too where we rotate between Valor and Mystic, Red and Blue. One day they get to keep the gym, and the next day we get to keep the gym. That way we can earn Poke coins to like buy stuff and whatnot. And then we'll be like, hey, Legendary's popping up. Let's go all meet there at like 12 o'clock. And it's like, all right, everybody goes out with their phone, and we'll just like do this boss. And it's so silly. And I'm just standing there at some point. I'm just like, wow, this is like, it's such a unique experience. I can't even relate it to anything else in gaming. It's not particularly deep. The game itself isn't particularly changed that much, like the core gameplay, but it's still just kind of fun. And there was a community day this past weekend on Sunday where like this one Pokemon was popping up in abundance, and you could find shiny versions. And people were posting pictures in the Discord, like, oh, look, here was like this park, and there's like 30 people. I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this game is still that popular. So I don't know. I got kind of back into it, casual right now. But
what's interesting is like you talking about this makes me excited to see what they do on Switch. It's like, are we gonna get raids in Switch, like on Switch?
Like I actually do hope the Pokemon team like took some of the elements that
that's what I mean, because it's a mobile device, right? So like
yeah.
you can take some of this stuff and like add it to the Switch version, and like that would be pretty cool if like you
yeah,
just,
that
like,
would be kind of cool.
Party up with people and like in a local place and like
exactly. Or what if you could
Pokemon.
or what if you could sync up your Pokemon Go Pokemon with the Switch version? Like you could transfer it back and forth or whatever. Like possibilities are endless there.
Yeah.
I almost think they'd be afraid to tamper.
They
with
might
their
want to,
Pokemon
but
formula.
Let's get cloud saves first.
Pokemon Battle Royale.
There we go.
Dude.
I could see them actually doing it with the rarest Pokemon. Not Battle Royale, but would be like location sensitive or something. And they wouldn't tell anyone.
Well, they kind of did that last year, and they got shit for it because they did the first Pokemon meetup or whatever in Chicago.
Dude, the freaking thing in like Central Park in New York. Did you like see those videos where like?
Yeah, like just swarms of people, like just
ridiculous.
Like I swear to God, it's really funny.
What's going on? Like, is there like a celebrity or something?
Yeah.
Nope, it's a legendary Pokemon.
Like no, honestly, it's like, is the Pope here? No, a fucking like
people are getting trampled, man. It's like
But I honestly think when Pokemon Go launched back in the summer of 2016, I think that is the closest humanity has gotten to world peace. I really, truly believe this.
Didn't we like all bet on how long this thing would last?
I don't know, Jim. What word did you use to describe it? I think it was like 3-letter.
Fad. Fad. I stand by that.
I
stand by that statement.
It was for the mainstream of fad. Now there's still a group going with it, but it's not what it was in that first month.
Well, no, obviously.
Was insane.
Right. That was
the
like
world.
That was like something that is rarely. I don't know the next time we're going to see anything like that again. It's just insane.
All right, cool. All right, well that's gonna wrap up. I think 391 of the Gamecast.
You didn't do anything, Jim?
No, I talked about it at the beginning of the podcast.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You bold.
Yeah, I bowled. Next week, I promise you, God of War will be played. And actually, maybe I'll play a couple things well, never mind. My Switch. Not at work, I promise.
Oh, I mean, the format for that
well,
console is fantastic. You can play it in all different kinds of places.
The thing for work has been, like, when I've had free time, which has not been very much recently because it's been busy, but I have been catching up on TV shows and stuff. So, like, you know, I caught up on Gotham and stuff. So, and I watched My Hero Academia. So I watched all that and caught up, and Dragon Ball Super's on that list and stuff, but I could play some games. So, all right. So that's going to wrap up 391. Thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allygeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allygeek. Like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tune in next week. Well, hopefully some of us will talk about God of War. Like I said, I will play it. I promise. So,
Kratos.
Yes. Ares. All right. That's going to wrap it up. Thanks.